Hello, and on this episode of the Average Tabletop Gamers, we're going to be taking a look at Asset Drop. Hello, welcome to the Average Tabletop Gamers. I'm Ben.
And I'm Gary.
And it's just the two of us this time, mainly because we're kind of the two painters, or the two predominantly paintery.
I thought it was because a little of us went a very, very long way.
We'll go with that. So we're looking at Asset Drop. Now, Asset Drop is a company that's been on the market now, in the kind of the arena now for about 11 months. This is their 11th helping, and they are a monthly subscription service of modelling tools, equipment, paints, miniatures, etc.
Full on the Luke Creative model that everyone knows and loves.
But I say this one is specifically aimed at gamers.
Yeah.
So this is the core supply set, which is just paints and bits and bobs for the painter, and they do 3 other sets, which we'll talk about in a bit.
Now, I'm not an expert on these, so I'm quite interested to see what you're getting in the packs and learn a bit about them, because I don't know that much. I'm a keen painter, modeller, terrain builder, that kind of thing. So I'm interested to see what you get from this, because this might be an investment for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So first things first, it's a lovely little cardboard box. It turned up within a couple of days of getting the notification that it had been sent, which, you know, I'm always a fan of that. And then when you open it up, oh, look at that. Some beautiful black tissue paper.
It says thank you, which my mum would like.
Now, the best thing about the thing that really impressed me, because I did have a look at this when it came, because it's a bit cheeky, but sat there when I opened it up was one of those little bags of Haribo.
Nice.
Which, you know,
which is something ASOS do and all the school companies these days.
Yeah.
So daft little touch, but
anything that throws a free couple of Haribo at me, I'm well all over. So we open up there, and what we've got is a lot of packaging, which is good because, you know, this has come through the post, etc. And there we go.
So there's a guide which I'll have a quick flick through while you're looking at the rest.
So what we've got here is a selection of paints and what appears to be basing materials from different companies around the world, predominantly UK, I'd say, but and that's kind of what this box is all about, is showcasing new products and companies that you might not be familiar with, to give you an idea as to what else is out there. You know, so it's not just your Games Workshop, your Vallejos, your Army Painter, etc. There are a lot of other companies out there doing some really nice things, and through this you get an introduction to some of them. So
you get a chance to explore, you get a dabble, and it's not going to... There's certain things where you see mega paint sets from some companies where you invest in them, and I'm not going to call out one, but I invested in a mega paint set from a well-known manufacturer, and I was thoroughly disappointed. I mean, for what I got from it, I wasn't sold. Something like this for me is great because it's that little taste there that just might make me go, I didn't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of how I started looking at it when I was at first having a look. Now, the guide, not only does it tell you everything that you get in the box, it also tells you how to use them.
Should we see, put it in closer?
Yeah, let's see if we can get it in there. Oh, look at that.
It's really, to be honest, the production of that is really nice. It's like, it's all glossy. It's
good thick cardstock.
Yeah, it's easy to read. It's well laid out.
Yeah, there we go. That's almost straight as well.
Yeah.
So just going through, you've got a list of what all the paints and everything that's in there, and then a whole section of techniques of how to paint and how to use those bits.
And that's using what you get in the box.
Using what you get in this box for this month.
This has took a lot. Tell you what, even just from a planning point of view, I think that's brilliant. That is, for the detail that they're going into for what you're getting in there, that's genius. That is really, really nice.
Now, one of the things I really liked when I was having a look through it earlier is not only does it tell you how to use the paints, it also gives you several different methods of using them, and then it gives you things like mixing quotas. So things like whether to use flow improver with it, whether to use water, what parts paint, what parts flow, what part water, etc. And I'm really excited to kind of get into them and have a look at what we can do, or you know what I can do with them anyway.
Yeah.
So shall we have a look first?
Certainly.
So this is a set of 3 metallics from a company called Dark Star Molten Metals. And the beauty of this is it's a genuine 3 set of metallics. So you've got an antique copper, a copper, and then a polished copper.
Yeah.
So for doing your complete highlight version of a copper metal, now they're decent sized pots.
I think as well as they're not very separated as well. So quite a common thing you see in this is you get quite paints are made up of it. There's an emulsion which is the liquid, and then there's a pigment which actually is carrying the colour that you're using. And normally, quite often with the metallics, you'll often see a good bit of separation. But even just looking at them, there's not a lot of that happening.
Now, so what you've got here is a pretty standard size 17mm. It's a dropper bottle.
Yeah. With a shaker in.
With a shaker.
So you don't have to do what I've done with my other dropper bottles, which is put a glass bead in all of them to help them flow and get the mix done. Wow.
And they are really, really nice colours as well.
Yeah, they're actually really nice. That copper is beautiful. That is a stunning tone.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
And being able to work up from one to the other. So, you know, I mean, I think they're lovely. And if the rest of their range...
It's actually quite a neat tube as well. That's really thin. So it's actually, for a delivery system, it's very, very fine. You're not going to waste a lot of paint with that. That's really nice.
So I'm certainly having a look at that. I'm very interested to have a look at more of their metallics.
Yeah.
For sure, because if they're of that kind of quality, then I'm all over that. What else have we got in here? So, here we've got a couple of paints from some friends of ours at Instar Paint. Now, in fact, these aren't actually paints, these are washes. Their new range. Now, Instar Paint have been around for a few years, I think, or some period of time anyway. And they specialise in recreating old Games Workshop colours.
Right, okay.
Now, they've done these range of washes. There's a heavy brown and a heavy black. There you go.
Let's have a look. Once again, quite nice little nifty paint tubes, the usual.
What was it saying here about them?
Once again, it's very, very fine little dropper on them, which is really nice. I think that's just really nice to see. The consistency is really nice inside. You can tell there's a lot of pigmentation inside of the bottles, taking up a lot of the staining, so actually, that's a decent colour, that.
Yeah, so they're part of a new range where you've got a heavy and soft line.
Similar to Army Painter with its strong tone, soft tone. Yeah.
With the heavy ones being really heavy pigmented, for a much bigger shadow. Yeah. Again, decent sized pots, and look like a nice bit of a nice paint. What else have we got in here? So here's a couple from a company I've never heard of before. So Hataka Hobby, they are a Polish company, and they focus on producing highly realistic paints from military history. So what we've got here is an ocean grey and a gris blue fonts, which I assume is another grey blue. There you are.
Right, really
have a look at them.
Can't tell too much of the difference between the pigments. Probably should have got that tap, but once again, shakers inside.
Yeah.
So once again, the advances in how manufacturers are working with what people require. You know, I mean, there must be. It sounds stupid, but I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's just that little touch, which is the kind of thing which will separate out the little companies. And the big guys, your Valleos, you know, your Army Painters, that's the kind of thing you've really got to start stepping up the mark to.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If you're producing dropper bottles now, you've got to put your shakers in.
That's the next step, yeah. And I can't see too much to it. It's very slight and very different. But that looks like a beautiful mid-tone highlight of that basic ocean grey. So it looks like they've thought about what they're putting in here, you know, for the painter.
So and what they're saying here is the paints are high quality and come with agitators. and these are from their blue line, which is for brush painting, but they also have a red line for airbrush.
Okay.
So,
but once again, you might try them. Love the consistency, love the feel of the paint, which is weird to see feel of paint, but it's true.
yeah.
You know that they all have a slightly different consistency, work differently, flow differently, and if you get a feel for them, that might make you think, I'm going to check these out.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're doing a lot of the more historical painting, and that's what they specialise in recreating those historic colours, then you might be better off, you know, picking something like that up rather than going into your local game store and trying to find a colour from somebody else when you know that they're producing one.
It's immediately making me think the fact that I'll normally knock up from paints. I'm a big fan of using the Vallejo range, but that's making me think, actually, is there like a nice grey for doing Felgrau with for the Germans? Yeah. You know, I'm to paint British Airborne at the minute, my Russians, what's the summer uniform colour going to look like? So I might have to check them out.
Yeah. So next we've got some bits and bobs from a company called Serious Play. Now the reason that these are in here is because Asset Drop are doing another box for their set for basing materials. And what they've done here is they've just given you a little introduction to some of the...
A little sample.
A sample.
A dad bag.
Don't do cork, kids.
I've got a cork issue, and it's
Yeah, so it's part of their the Baseworks box, which is going to be a lot of this Serious Play stuff was going to be in there, and that again it's going to introduce you to new basing techniques and materials.
Well, that was
things like that.
It's in on this one mixed cork. You've got some larger graded lumps, and you've got a fine powder of it. That's really useful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
mostly so when you see cork, or you buy cork and things like this. Yeah, lumps or chunks, things like this. You don't ever find dust.
Yeah, that's once again little things like that. That's just brilliant.
What appears to be a dark mossy fields modelling flock that looks like a sawdust flock to me. But then, there's enough there to do.
Yeah, a bit of an experiment
to do a bit of monkeying about.
I mean, you talk about that's the kind of thing that Jarvis normally do. You'll end up buying a much bigger pack of that, and I've been a bit hit or miss. Sometimes you'll order the sawdust stuff, and sometimes it'll be really nice, really well dyed, or sometimes you'll put it on the PVA and it'll just start leaking.
It starts leaching out and you lose it. Yeah,
it's nice to try it, and actually, if it ends up being a really nice thing to use, once again, a great little taster set.
And then we kind of get onto the bits that I'm really excited by. So, firstly, we have, again from Serious Play, their well water effects. So, it's a two-part epoxy water.
Okay. Which is always problematic for most people. If you're doing anything epoxy, if you've got kind of like any complicated method of doing it, kind of like with, the syringe squirters, with ones where you've got to put a little bit less in, it's nice if it's just a basic mix like that. It's brilliant.
Yeah. And then...
Oh my... Is that gloves in there as well?
Yeah.
That's class. I mean, how stupid is it? I'm looking like, oh my god, they give you free gloves, but you wouldn't think of buying that. I bought an airbrush recently, but I haven't got the breathing mask yet, so I can't even breathe and use it. So it's kind of like, that's brilliant for nubdies like me.
And then, what I think is fantastic is this. It's called Nuplast, which is a never-drying putty.
Right, okay, you'll have to sell me on that one. Why never drying it?
It's so the reason they put it in with this is to create an area to put your well effect into.
Ah, right, okay, yeah.
And because it doesn't dry out, it's not going to soak out and things like that. I think that's what the point is. Because it also doesn't dry out, it doesn't crack.
Right, okay.
So you don't get leakage or any of that kind of stuff. And I suppose you can mess around with it until you're really happy.
Yeah.
So there you go, that's another bit. I mean, it does look suspiciously like a cross between porcelain, clay and plasticine.
Yeah.
But, hey. And then just having a quick look through here, and there's so much information.
And everything in there is using all of this, and everything's a little experiment, and a little taster, and a little way to use it. And I know it sounds silly, but one, it'll give you a taste of like a different supply that you might think of using. But also just the knack of how to do it, which if it's giving you that in there and that is maximising the use out of this, fantastic.
Yeah, I mean there's so many little things in here. The like doing an aged copper, for kill team bases. I'm really excited to do some of that on there. The greys there, the Hataka greys. Again, really looking forward to getting those onto something. I think I've got something upstairs that I'm going to put those onto. And then I've always wanted to have a go at water effects as well. And so again, having a really nice read-through tutorial on how to do that
is ideal, and even things like quantities like that. If you're doing a really nice character model, or you're doing a series of figures where, you know, if you're doing a World War II army where it's like they're on, you know, you're doing a Tundra or an Icy, like a World War II Russian army, or you're doing a Valhallan army for Games Workshop, and that kind of thing. You know, something where you think, I'll do a little bit of an ice effect on the base. That's brilliant.
Yeah, that kind of small quantity is. You're not going out having to buy one of those big
huge
water
pots
tub
of stuff.
things.
Mixing it with a vat. Yeah, none of that going
on. And again, it's little things that they do that I'm really impressed with. There, on the back. Thanks very much. There we go. So let's stick it under there, see if we can read it. Thanks so very much for sending us your money for this. We're going to give some of it to charity. And they support the Blue Marine Foundation. They're very conscientious of their market and of the community. Ecological footprint, which I'm sure they'll get around to, you know, being better with their bags at some point. But it's things like one of their subscribers, they asked, edited the guide, and things like that. I'm phenomenally impressed.
Yeah, that's really
with
good.
it, and kind of I'm happy to have signed up and be on the list every month now, because I don't mind spending that amount of money. Which kind of brings us to the important point.
Yes.
How much is it? So this particular box has £26.52 worth of miniature paints, and it costs just £19.90. So it's a 25% saving.
Yeah. So that's nice for what you're getting in there. It's just the range of things and the usefulness. I think as not just as a concept, you're not just getting some random stuff. You're getting useful random stuff. All works together. That is brilliant.
A lot of the stuff in here is kind of using bits with itself. So the copper tutorial uses the washes and things like this. So they have thought about how to combine. Even the water one, there's a bit of use of the washes and the base and materials.
Really nice.
It's really impressed. I like the way it's packaged. I like the look of it when it came through.
You like the Haribo?
Love the Haribo. In fact, if you're watching this and you just want to send me, do a Haribo subscription, somebody just do a Haribo subscription, or Lions wine gums, just Lions wine gums all day, every day.
But that's class.
But there you go, and kind of having a look on their website at some of the previous months, which a lot of them are still available.
Okay.
So you can kind of go in and have a look and pick up ones that you fancy a look of, but you are going to be paying full price. Full price for them.
But for what? To be fair, I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, it's I'm really impressed. I think it's a great bit of kit, and like I say, I consider myself very fortunate to have found it and kind of get on their list.
Yeah, you've been a lucky
And
man.
that's just kind of the first thing that they do. And I say that they've got 3 other boxes in their range. So the basic one, which is the new one, I think it comes out next month. And they're all roughly the same price. They're all in that kind of £20 to £25 range. So the basing one will be introducing to a lot of new basing materials and ways of doing things. And then they also have one, a monsters one, where you get some paints, some bits and bobs, and a monstrous miniature, or several monstrous miniatures. And then they have a heroines, so female miniatures as well. And you can double up on the subscriptions, and again you can save a little bit by combining the subscriptions together to get a whole set.
I think the paint and modelling stuff would really appeal to me. I mean, I've got enough miniatures in my miniatures pile to do so, but wow, I think I'm definitely checking this out.
Yeah. So there you go. That is us on Asset Drop's monthly subscription service, the core set. If you like it, please check them out. the box, the subscriptions do go really quickly at the beginning of the month. That's why it took me a few months to get on the list.
Okay.
So that they do sell out, especially the Discovery box. It goes probably first of all of them, and I can totally see why.
Yeah.
But check them out. We'll put a linky down there to them. If you want to hit us up, our social medias are all there. Look, there we are. That's us. That's where you can find us: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I think it's that order. I did that as well, didn't I? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, yeah, or something like that.
Maybe, if you check out the channel, maybe you could show some of your painted examples of what you've done?
Possibly, at some point in the future, I'll be brave enough to put some painted stuff on the little spinny turntable. The little spinny turntable. Look, there it is. Look at it.
Look at it go.
So, yeah, we might put some stuff on there for you.
In fact, something I think about doing is maybe doing some painting tutorials for people.
Yeah.
So even doing things like this.
Maybe even going through this and showing you, like going through the tutorial in this and seeing how easy it is to do.
Yeah. If you want that, let us know and we'll see what we do for you.
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends if you liked it. Don't tell anybody if you didn't, apart from us. Or not, because I don't like criticism. Oh. And until next time, I've been Ben.
And I've been Gary.
Is that you finished talking about painting yet?
And we've been the Average Tabletop Gamers. Ta-da.
See ya.